Sunday or whenever you all are viewing this. If my voice sounds a little bit raspy, I'm just now overcoming a cold. I've been sick for the last 7 days. It's been a struggle, but I'll talk about that in a little while. But thank you all so much for joining in today. Let me know down below in the chat where you all are coming from. I'm going to stir up my tea and log into my computer here so I can see you all's comments and stuff like that. Just one moment. Cool. Sorry, we all logged in. Is the audio good? Turn it down. Give you all a few more seconds to join in. Get this tea out of here. Yeah, so I've just been on lemon detox tea, and I actually lost my voice completely on Sunday. So this weekend's, this day 14 is actually day 14 from Best Body 5 because I just didn't have a voice. I literally didn't have a voice that entire day. So shout out to everybody who joined in. Congratulations on making it through the first week of 75 Hoy. Now this has been our initiation week. So a lot of adjustment. That's kind of the key word that we've been working through all week is just adjustments. Adjusting consuming all the water to having the different tasks to getting in enough protein, and some of us meal prepping our meals and doing the double workouts and all that good stuff. But we've been having so much fun. I've been loving you all's enthusiasm. And in fact, that's one thing that's really carried me over. Because going through, this whole week of being sick, I was still able to record and stuff like that because I know there's so many people, just the enthusiasm you had, I just, kind of fed off of that energy. So thank you all so much for making this an awesome first week. We're going to make this the best 75 days ever. And Tiffany just gave me a correction. This challenge actually ends on, well, it never ends, but the first 75 days ends on June 20th, not June 21st. And I put in like a 75-day calculator and it says June 21st, but she counted like a crazy person every single day. And it actually ends up being on a Friday, which is June 20th. So that's just a little fun fact for everyone. So it's the day before summer starts. So as soon as summer hits, we're all good, we're ready to go, and we'll be on to, crushing bigger and better things. So yeah, let me know where you all are from in the chat. We got Alpha Marchetti. I'm gonna butcher everyone's name. From Seattle, Ola. So for some reason I thought that was Hawaii when I saw Ola. So I don't know what's going on. Audio's good. All right, let me get a quick sip of tea so I can refresh my speaking voice, right? Ooh, I mean, that's it. What up, Gino? What up, Jody? RJ? Big shout out. Thanks for being a member. Shout out to London. Oh, my voice is creaking. This is not the ideal situation, all right? I want to come on here with huge energy and all that good stuff, but I don't have a voice, man. It's been crazy. But week one has been extremely successful. So many people have poured in, taken on the challenge. We just created I've seen people posting the pictures and not pictures, that's just pictures, but videos in the Facebook group. People have been sharing tips in the Discord, and we just created maybe an hour or two ago a 75 Hoy separate tab just within our Discord so people can share tips there because we all are stronger together. And one thing I do like about this challenge, really in comparison to any other challenge we've done, is that you all are communicating more with each other. Like in the past, a lot of people will ask me questions directly or interact with me directly, but I see you all hanging out with each other, agreeing with things. So many people have pretty much mapped out mentally where all the bathrooms are in their area because just going to the bathroom over and over again, drinking a gallon of water a day. So yeah, just that camaraderie we have, just the fist bump family. I really feel that we are all uniting in this challenge. So speaking of the challenge, I do have a huge announcement for people who have been doing this challenge for free on YouTube. Now we have released the first week on YouTube for people to try, and I have to let you know the response has just been absolutely, I want a better word than overwhelming, but it's just been so great. We've had a lot of people join in as subscribers. A lot of people take on this challenge, and we've honestly had a lot of people join the membership via the last week. I want to say 70 or plus more people joined in to our membership. And so one thing that I want to do, just for all the love that you all have been showing, is we are going to extend the free version of this challenge on YouTube from 7 days to the first 15 days. So we're going to have the first 20% of this challenge available. So if you're a member on HoyPRO, this is a great time. I know the people in your family are seeing you take on this challenge. They may not be HoyPRO members. You can say, hey, look, come on to YouTube. And you can do the first 15 days. See if you have a feel for it. Because I'm telling you, if you do the first 15 days, you're going to want to do the other 60 because we're already going to be seeing great results. And it's so much great stuff planned. I'm really kind of resetting every single day in my mind and trying to make every single day the best possible workout that it can be for that day. So we have some fun formats coming up. We have some different cool things. I'm really like a kid at Christmas. I'm so excited for you all to take on these challenges and these workouts. And then of course the other things as well, right? This isn't just a workout challenge. Did I bring that guide down here? I took Tiffany's guide. Let me see if I can find it. It's around here somewhere. Time out. I'll be right back. All right. While I'm gone, if you all leave any questions that you have down below in the chat, I'll be right back. I'm just going to get the guidebook. I'm back like I never left. All right, so I went to get Tiffany's printout guidebook. Now Jody posted that she printed out her guidebook in the Discord, but Tiffany is also doing the same thing as well. All right, Jody's looks fancy as well, but I didn't do that because I'm more like just a habit guy. I print out a few pages, but Tiffany's so organized, and when you kind of mix that discipline with the organization, we make a great team that way. But make sure that you all download the 75 Hoy challenge planner. There's some great information in there, and then also for things like day one, you want to go ahead and do that the fitness assessment test. Sorry, I'm still getting over this cold, so I'm a little scatterbrained, just a little bit. So I have noticed that at least on YouTube, more people are starting at day 2 and going all the way through. I highly recommend to do this by starting with the fitness assessment test, because as we get to day 25 and day 50, you're going to want to know where you started, all right, and track that, all right? So when I first started in my fitness journey, so many years ago, I was 24 years old. Tiffany and I, we took before pictures, all right? And at the time, I had issues like what's known as man boobs. I was like skinny fat. I was like someone who, ate a whole bunch of junk food and all that good stuff, all that bad stuff. But we took these pictures and I put it on a hard drive that I'm one day gonna have to figure out how to save, because there's nothing like looking at where you started. And I want to one day get those pictures back. So you want to track where you started. Some people are uncomfortable with doing like the body measurements and stuff like that, but I think it's good to have an honest look at where you are, do a 3D scan, and I think it's about your intentions, not necessarily the practice of measuring it itself. All right, so make sure you follow the full guide. Do the things that's going to help you, and not just your fitness, because yes, we want to get in shape, we want to get that six-pack, we want to get those big muscles, but also it's so fun finding different ways to challenge and manage your time and just get healthy in all 4 areas, which is going to be your fitness, your food, your family, and your focus. All right, so let me see. I had a few questions, and I'm going to go through a recap of the first week, tell you all what's coming up in week 2. If you don't know already, week 2 is live right now. I already put it up on HoyPRO. So if you all want to go ahead and check out the second week, you can see the workouts that's coming up. I try to get it out as early as possible. That way you can plan your week, because a lot of this is about time management. So check out your chats, and then we'll move on from there. What's up, Luli? Dion? Vasilka? Awesome. just said, I can't locate where to sign up, so I've been doing the 75 Hoy on YouTube. Yeah, so you can sign up. There's actually a link right below in the description. Maybe I need to spam it more in a community post. I don't know. One thing I can work on is being a better promoter. I'm not like a marketer kind of guy. You know, I wear a lot of hats, whether it's like doing the videos and, being a trainer and, editing in the Photoshop and all this other stuff. I have to figure out all this rocket science, but the marketing part is difficult for me because it's kind of like walking a line between promoting something that is valuable and like this kind of like, I don't know, that you kind of, they call it shameless promotion for a reason. You don't want to be bragging or, like forcing anybody to do anything. So that's something I do have to work on. Yeah, Jody's all about that planner life. I see you. The assessment is a game changer. It really helped me figure out where I'm killing it in some areas to improve. Yes, and so we will be going through some of the exercises and stuff, and we're going to improve. So it's not like we're going to just have the assessment and then we come back and do another assessment. No, we're going to build on each one of those things as we go into the next assessment. So we are progressively getting better, and you all can see in that. I want a lot of people to get in their first push-ups, to get in, their squats, to get better at their lunges. All of us have different things that we're working on. So doing the full assessment, where we're going from our upper body, our lower body, our core, is a great way to kind of really, a lot of this is about honesty. And I think once you observe where you're at, you can get better in order to move forward. All right. So it's better than just trying to just throw everything at yourself and see, if a problem or an issue gets fixed. You kind of want to know where the issues are and say, okay, let me work on that throughout this, 75-day challenge. So Lily says, focus is my issue. Need some tips to stay consistent. So one thing, if you can elaborate more on what you mean by focus, because focus, there's a lot of things involved in focus. One thing for me is just minimizing distractions. I haven't been able to get on social media much during this challenge, so that's been good. I've been less distracted in that way. It's also been bad on the other hand because people hit me up in the DMs, and I'm just like, I have no time. I'm putting out 4 videos a day. If you look at the 40-minute, the 30-minute version, and the music and the other music version, they all need thumbnails and they all need description. They all have to be organized and, written and, have some novelty to them and stuff like that. So it's been, sometimes I feel like burnout when doing things like this, but it's really been feeling refreshing. It's been great. I just want to make this challenge the absolute best. So I do feel actually more energized, which is different for me. Not saying my other challenges have been bad, but I'll tell you, I got burnout in Best Body 5. It was just so strenuous. But this one has allowed me to have a different type of creativity because I have to find a way to make the workouts accessible, starting off and progressively, but still challenging. And that's a new fun challenge because I love movement so much. So Catherine said, I'm glad for another week of YouTube workouts. We are one income family hit by a layoff. Sorry to hear that. I know a lot of people are going through it, especially during these times. So we really appreciate stress-free from the workouts. So yeah, some people with the 15 days on YouTube, if you want to repeat those 15 days, it's kind of going to be off a little bit because we have like next week is double arms and the week after that will be double legs. So you kind of have to mix that with other workouts on YouTube, but there would definitely be more options. Ryan says, I found your workouts a few weeks ago and I'm loving HoyPRO. Thank you so much for your support. And sometimes we've been getting so much support and so much breath of fresh energy. And then the people who've been with us for a while also feeling that energy as well. So let's just keep pushing each other forward. We have the best community online, a lot of humble, cool people. It's not humble to say you're humble, right? It's like humble bragging. But we have a lot of awesome people who are like family truly, and that's why I use the name. It's the most important thing, and that's the vibe I want us to have as a community. So just to let me look through my tabs because I will be scatterbrained. Thank you so much for your support, Lily. I really appreciate it. I absolutely appreciate it. I need my tea. So right now on our Discord, people are sharing their favorite tips. If you have any other tips that has helped you get through the first week, let me know down below. So we just crushed the first week. We had some fun, some new formats in there, with the level up hit. A lot of people like that, where we took exercise, 3 different exercises, and leveled up. We've done similar things in the past, but this was a different spin on it, where you can kind of see things on screen and some new, fresh exercises in there as well. We brought back the load and hold for the upper body and the lower body. So 30 seconds of work with a 15-minute kind of mini burnout for each and every exercise to really push it just a little bit more. And the good thing about these type of workouts is not only is it great just for your strength, but it also is great for your mentality as well. Because even with 30 seconds, like, so say for instance, if traditionally if we go 45 seconds for an exercise move, right? You do the move and you're done. But when you do 30 seconds and then you take the last 15 and kind of burn out a little bit, or take it another level, that does something to you mentally, all right? So we're playing with these formats, not just for your muscles, but also for your mind as well. And it's tying into the overall focus. Next week, I'm gonna give you a little layout of what we're going to be doing. So we have some great formats. It's gonna be our first double muscle group. How do I explain? I'm sorry, I'm gonna have my full brain back hopefully in the next few days. But this is the first like double. I'm gonna just say muscle group week we're gonna go through. So they're gonna be 2 arm workouts next week. For week 3, for people who are joining us on HoyPRO, there will be 2 leg days and 1 arm day for the week. All right. So for Monday, we're gonna do a full dumbbell pump workout. This is an excellent low impact workout using nothing but dumbbells. We're gonna get down and work our core, so it won't be all standing. We are gonna get down on our mat for some exercises, but it's a great strength pump for the entire body. I know a lot of people are really gonna love this. I didn't call it Metcon, but it is a metabolic conditioning workout. A lot of people loved day 2 of last week. I think that's the favorite of week 1. So going right into Monday, that's gonna be fun for you all as well. For Tuesday, we're going to do our first of 2 upper body workouts. We're gonna have chest, back, and shoulders. So we get a great pump through the upper body with that workout. And then we're gonna go into our lower body workout for Wednesday. That's gonna be complete lower body. So we're gonna get 1 lower body workout for the week. So we're gonna take care of everything. I'm talking about hamstrings, calves, glutes, quads, abductors, adductors. I don't know if I left anything out, but yeah, we're hitting hips, we're hitting it all up, all right? From there, we got Thursday, we're gonna drop the weights, all right? So I think it's important to have one day where it's kind of like some people with their diet day, you have a 1 vegan day or something like that. We have 1 day where we drop the weights. We are doing double workouts. So one thing I don't want people to get is like tennis elbow or just have repetitive stress injuries just from holding weights too much. So we are gonna have 1 day per week where we do put down the weights and go body weight, all right? And the body weight days can be challenging. We have a full body calisthenics HIIT workout coming up this Thursday. So the thing about calisthenics HIIT, if you think about like if you've done our body weight drills exercises, it's a great opportunity to really challenge your body and use your own body as a gym, which is that's how I came up doing body weight workouts when I had no access to dumbbells, etc. And these are also great workouts for you if you want to travel and stuff like that. You have those on deck. Friday, we have an all over abs workout. So what all over abs is standing and mat ab exercises. This is a strength workout and we're really going to work that core here. A lot of great ab exercises. I actually can't wait for you all to take this one on. I know a lot of people, one of the top things that was said in the community survey, if you haven't taken it, it's in the description as well, is the top things, I want to lose 20 pounds. The second thing is kind of the same thing, like lose belly fat, right? So I know people do have those aesthetic goals, and no, we're not going to spot reduce, but we are going to get a strong core, which is going to help us with our lower body movements, our upper body movements, our cardio, all that good stuff. On Saturday, it's going to be our second arm workout, and it's going to be our first ever all standing arm workout. I mean, I've been doing YouTube videos since, or really workout videos. Before YouTube, I did a fitness DVD, self-made fitness DVD, right? Since 2011. So in the past 14 years, this is our first time ever doing an all standing arm workout. So I'm excited for you all to try that out. We do get our heart rate up a little bit more because we are standing as opposed to getting down to the floor. But we have some fun, creative ways to work our chest, and things that, lats, etc., that we mostly will work when we're down on the floor. So I can't wait for you all to take that one up. And then Sunday, I ran out of my voice. I didn't have a voice at all, so I couldn't shoot. So maybe I'll go back and shoot another one. But as it stands, Sunday is going to be our recovery workout, and it's the same recovery workout from Best Body 5 day 14. All right, so if you all did Best Body 5, we're going to bring in some resistance bands, and we're going to have some fun, creative ways to really work through our body and get a good stretch and pull using resistance bands as well as body weight. For people who did week 1, do not skip the stretch days. Everything is comprehensive. It all comes together, and it's a full, complete program. We did a lot of full body the first week because we were kind of adjusting with having a fitness assessment test and kind of getting people into it. Now we're going to work a bit more on getting that strength and that conditioning throughout week 2 and beyond. All right, but how do you all feel to have made it through the first week of this challenge? I know I'm pumped. I know through the comments I'm seeing, I'm loving the energy and just the vibes overall. And that's the reason I went to come and have this chat with you all and just kind of check up and keep those vibes going, man. Let's keep crushing this together. Let's keep on pushing through. All right. It sounds like I'm ending it live when I say that, but I'm not. That's just the way I talk, I guess. So yeah, so people are loving the low impact. I'm going to call you Monira, and I'm going to butcher everyone's name, as I already said. Because I found your workouts this year, and I love how much you cheer and push throughout the workout. Also, less cardio, more 1 dumbbell or 2 dumbbell will be appreciated. Yes, so we do have another 1 dumbbell workout coming up. It's actually day 15, but I'm getting ahead of myself. And that one, you're going to love it. But yeah, I love movement, and I love sharing it with people. That's what I feel my life mission is, or one of my life purposes is. For me to have discovered my own personal health and fitness journey at the age of 24, I've done push-ups and calisthenics in the past, but when I did, P90X and then I did Insanity, I just found different ways to move. Like one cool thing about P90X is it had yoga in there, it had plyometrics, it had HIIT, it had strength. And then when I found Insanity, the level of intensity that really made me have like real conversations with myself and work on my self-talk and all that other stuff, that just really made me want to be a trainer. So once I found that love for fitness, it really awakened me. I feel like I kind of was had like sludge over me or something. Like I kind of was like, wasn't living fully, but I didn't know that you can exist in the world and then live in the world differently. So being able to have more energy, being able to feel more optimistic and more alive and more awake. I didn't know that you could do that. Even as far as digestion, I used to be constipated because I was eating a lot of junk food and not drinking water. And I just thought that's the way it was. But when I started eating, I said, wait, it don't gotta be difficult to sit on the toilet, right? So I'm like, man, there's 2 different ways to live, and health is the other way. So that's my long little speech, but I absolutely, it's my life pleasure sharing this with you all. My love for that, and hopefully it just infects more people in a positive way. I've had other people who train who said, hey, look, I watched you in the same way that you watched Tony Horton or Shanti, and then they became trainers. So yeah, let's keep on pushing each other with positivity. Let's see, did I miss anybody? I already said I want more abs. Who don't want more abs, right? So in the ab workout, actually I talk about this as a fitness assessment test. It's just the different ways to train your core. A lot of people are familiar with the sit-up, right? And I'm going to use some conventional terms like upper abs, lower abs, etc. All right. Of course, I do know that it's just one, slab of pardon me, that was a slip. Hey, I'm getting over cold of ab muscles, right? But the sit-up or the crunch is one great way to work like your upper abs. Your lower abs and into your hip flexor is going to be the knee pull in. So the things that we do like the reverse crunch or the rainbow knee tucks. And then of course you're going to have like your plank, your holds. So it's going to be a transversus abdominis. So just really holding into the plank. One thing that I like to do is the pot stirs. I do it on my yoga ball where I put my elbows on it and I stir the pot while holding my plank as tight as possible. I do at least 30 of those in each direction every single day, and that keeps your stomach tight and flat and ready for the cardio and all the craziness. So that's my little secret. 30 in each direction, full circles on a yoga ball. So a lot of people are missing out on a plank. And then, of course, you're going to have your twisting motion, all right? So moving through the transverse plane, like doing reach backs, like doing cable pulls, like doing the bat swings that we do with the one dumbbell, and I mix a lot of that into the workout. So those are different ways to work your abs. Of course, you can do side crunches, but I consider that more of a crunch and oblique work, etc. But yeah, there's ways to get that core right, and there's ways like that for every single body, every single part of your body, and I'm mixing that into this program. Yeah, Catherine said her favorite was the Metcon. All right, so y'all said do it in the morning. Jody says, do the first workout as early in the day as possible. Less pressure at night to complete both workouts. And my advice is to the earlier the better. And I said this in the first chat. The earlier you can get any of the things done, the less pressure for later. And my biggest part of that is the water. You want to be drinking your water as early as possible. You do not want to be after, in my opinion, after 5 p.m., then you're going to run the risk of having to use the bathroom while you sleep with that much water. I want time to get the water back out, so I like to cut off by 5. Depending on how your life is structured, it may be different for you, but the earlier, the better. That can be things like reading because, well, maybe you do want to read, your pages at the end of the night, but you might fall asleep trying to read that, right? But definitely the heavy things, the workout, the first workout, you're drinking, etc. Get that done as early as possible. Ellie Burke definitely gets to run with this challenge. People loving the Metcon and the one dumbbells. Absolutely. So what else do I have here? So, as we go into week 2, week 1, we made a lot of adjustments as far as adjusting to drinking the water, adjusting to our schedule, adjusting to being sore, making sure we get enough protein, etc. All right, we're going to carry that on into week 2. Week 2 is a little more difficult. I'm really saying a little bit. It's almost on par with week 1 as far as difficulty because I kind of wanted to make it like 2 weeks of initiation because the first 2 weeks of this challenge is the toughest for people who've done 75 hard, etc. And it's not tough in the sense of intensity. It's tough in the sense of consistency, right? So making sure that you're keeping up with everything. And while I'm talking about that, I do want to say, hey, look, this is about making progress. If things aren't perfect, don't stress over it. I mean, I just had a conversation with Tiffany earlier where, they had a big birthday party and she did so well. She avoided all the snacks and all the other stuff, for her sister. And, but she wasn't able to get her steps in. So she was telling me, all right, that's fine. I didn't get I got almost all my steps. She got, I think, 6,000. She's like, so today I'm going to get 10,000. I said, wait, don't do that. Just get 7,500 today. All right. Just don't put yourself in debt to where you think, there's a lot of people who want to catch up with the workouts. Like, man, I'm just now finding about 75 Hoy. I'm gonna do 2 workouts per day to catch up with you all. Take your time. Now, you all are grown. You can do whatever you want, right? But I recommend just taking it one day at a time. It's not about, some magical check-off list in the sky to be right or be perfect. It's about your own personal journey. And the great thing about this challenge, there'll be people starting next week. There'll be people starting today. Everybody's not going to have their rest day on a Sunday. It's the thing is about getting started and just pushing forward and about getting your progress over time, not trying to be perfect. And that's one of the lessons I really hope gets transferred within this challenge. I know we're checking off things on the list. I know we're trying to, get everything checked out, but it's about being better. Now, the great thing is sometimes when you're not perfect, that's actually better than being perfect because you learn how to improve for next time. So if you didn't get your steps in, you learn, okay, well, maybe I need to go just start my day with a 10-minute walk. That'll help me get out that extra 1,000 steps that I didn't get. Or, I had to get up in the middle of the night and use the bathroom. So maybe I stopped drinking water before 5 p.m. We're all different. So you're going to, as you go through this, have some iterations that you're going to do. And part of that is not beating yourself up, that's going to go into our focus and a negative self-talk issue that we talk about. Just push forward the next day, reset. All right, it's a new day, I'm at it. And if you can't make a day, let's say day 13 comes up, it was super busy, you couldn't do the workouts for day 13, come back on day 14. You don't have to beat yourself up. You don't have to, kind of force yourself to do this. Just keep on going. Every single day is an opportunity to work. And you really just take it one day at a time. And that's the way to make it through. So hopefully that's helpful for people who struggle. I do have a thing like that. I've gotten so much better. I don't think it's something that you get over. I think it's something that you just manage with trying to be perfect. But I know that I am human. And part of being human is being imperfect. And those things that I'm not perfect with is actually what makes me unique. It makes me not a robot, which I actually get accused of sometimes. So as we go into work week 2, just keep that focus and just try to do your absolute best. And one of the things you need to do best with is just how we talk to ourselves. All right. So how you all feeling about, taking your progress photos, and what are the conversations that you're having like in your mind? Are you feeling confident? Are you fretting over results? I know some people are looking at the scale. So let me know down in the chat how you're feeling as far as self-confidence with your, let me see how we do this. Like at a level 1, 2, or 3, 1 out of 3, how are you feeling as far as your self-talk when you're taking a photo? Just let me know in the chat. I felt like my voice is starting to run low again. I got some lemons up in here. So one of the things that that we have issues with is just trying to track progress. The thing about fitness is you're paying today for, is it like layaway? I don't know if you all know what layaway is, depending on where you are in the world, but they used to have this thing called layaway where you can go select a whole bunch of stuff at the store and you can pay a percentage on it now and they'll keep it in inventory for you. You got to keep paying off for it, but you get it later. Fitness is like layaway for results, right? So you're paying now, but you don't get to have it until later, right? It's kind of the opposite of credit, where you get it now and then you pay on it later on, which is actually worse, in my opinion. But yeah, so you're putting in that work, and when it's like the cliche thing of somebody doing push-ups and then they get up and do a bicep flex for whatever reason, like they want to see results immediately. Some people I've seen have struggled. Some people have reached out to me via email and they're like, hey, look, I've been working out this week. I've actually put on some weight. All right. And so that's the craziest thing is, like, not only are they not losing weight, and we've had people who lost weight as well. Most people are saying they lose weight, but some people will be gaining weight during this, initially during this challenge. And so there's some things to work out with. But the first thing I want to let you all know is that it's perfectly normal. All of our bodies are different, but I want to tell you, if you haven't been strength training before, what's going to happen is in order to build your muscle, you have to break down and tear muscle. And as you break down and you tear your muscle, that's actually going to lead to more water retention within the muscle, especially with us drinking all of this water, right? Even though it's coming out, we are getting more water out. That extra water retention is going to lead to more weight on the scale. So it's going to actually look like, if you think, weight equals more fat or more muscle, etc., it may just be water, all right? So that's just one thing to monitor. Don't beat yourself up. Just keep your head down, put one foot in front of the other, and keep moving forward. We're taking these progress photos and pictures, not just to say, I want to come up with a better word than progress, because it's kind of like before and after, but we're really just trying to get a real and honest look at ourselves as we go on throughout this challenge. So, yeah, so I honestly, so someone said, I weigh myself instead of taking photos. I honestly would highly recommend you do that in reverse. I would say take those photos and get off that scale for a little while. The scale is not going to tell you the full picture. It's not going to tell you if you gain muscle, if you gain fat, or if it's water weight. I just gave a classic example of, putting on extra weight while doing everything right. And it just seems like if I'm doing all this, I might as well just do nothing, right? Because you're looking at one metric and you're interpreting the wrong thing from that metric. Cool thing about taking photos is, when the last time you looked at your back, right? Like, I didn't know that one of my shoulders was a little bit higher than the other. And so that's something that I can now work on, because I haven't seen my back since, I don't know if I've ever seen it, to be honest with you, since we started taking this picture. But now I get to see every day. And so, okay, it's a quick reminder to do that, all right? And then also there's the elements of being able to look at yourself and appreciate your body, and not just look at yourself as I need to be thin or I need to get a six pack or whatever, but just appreciate, hey, look, that little scar on my left knee, I got that, being, we used to have rock fights when I was a kid, right? So I was in the hundreds, on people who know the hundreds in Chicago, South Side, when we were kids back in the early 90s, we were savages, and we used to do this thing called rock fights. We would go to like a field that had a whole bunch of rocks, and we just throw rocks at each other, right? So that's probably how I got one of these scars. Let me see. I got like scars all over my head. One of them I ran into a bunk bed screw, but yeah. So just little stuff like that. All right, we got scars, we got bruises, we got stretch marks. This is who we are. Our body is kind of like a roadmap of the adventure that we've been through. So just that's one aspect you want to look at yourself and learn to appreciate yourself. You can't get that with the scale. With the scale, just look at this number, and it's like a report card, So, yeah, I recommend. I mean, you can weigh yourself if you want to torture yourself. That's fine, but I absolutely recommend taking those progress photos, especially so you can look back on them. Because we're gonna keep going forward and we're gonna keep having more and more success. So. We got a lot of twos in the chat. All right, that's great. So we have opportunities to get back up to level 3 and to get up to from level 1. So D Nicole been hitting us up in the chat a lot, showing a lot of support here on YouTube. She says, "I want results immediately, LOL, but I am seeing change and feeling much stronger." And I said this last time on the chat. We always get results fast. It just doesn't seem that way. But if you think about how long we've been going in the opposite direction of health, eating junk, not paying attention to our sleep, scrolling on the phone, etc. If we had to give an equal amount of time to lose weight as it took to put it on, we could be here for the next 20 years before we lost a pound, just to be honest with you. If we had to do all that back pay, so your body is working with you, it just seems long, right? It's like a microwave minute or a Planck minute. So just keep pushing forward, and that's the cool thing. We're going one day at a time. We're keeping everything fun, and that's how we're absolutely going to crush this day 75. And just think about, hey, look, I know the work that I'm putting in, I'm guaranteed to have results. I'm just going to keep on pushing in, and when we get to day 75, then I'll judge. But until then, I'm just stay committed and just stay committed to, hey, 75 boy, we're gonna get it in. All right. Yeah, Tiffany been saying great results. She's in the chat right there. And so, yeah, that's a good thing. All right, so it's like, before you start seeing that, once you get one little breakthrough, whether somebody gives you a compliment, or, maybe if you are weighing your scale, you see that weight, the scales go down a little bit, or maybe you can fit a little bit differently in your pants, or maybe you can do something different physically within the workout. Once that happens, you start to get this weird thing called belief. And once the belief happens, it gets contagious. You say, oh, if that's working, then maybe this stuff is working. And then you go into it with a different passion. So try to give yourself some of that belief and confidence to begin with, and it will carry you through. Ooh, I think I was coughing last week on this. I do use kettlebells. Matter of fact, there's a kettlebell holding up my tripod right now. Otherwise, it will fall over. I got like a kettlebell with a resistance band because of the weight of my tripod. Is kind of crazy here. And I've talked about this in the past. More people have access to dumbbells, so I tend to do more dumbbell exercises. I do like the weight distribution of kettlebells. So I do have some kettlebell exercises, but some people it hurts their wrist, etc. Pardon me. Yeah, kettlebells may be difficult to get depending on where you are, and then some places like if you're in Russia, it may be easier to get than dumbbells. But yeah, any type of variable that makes things harder to access, like say for instance, I put out a resistance band workout on YouTube, and I put a lot of time and energy. This is not a complaint, by the way. I wanted to make it the best possible long band workout that I can make it. Spent a lot of time. I think I spent a week just creating different exercises and using my resistance band, etc. And it's never going to be a popular video because a lot of people just don't have resistance bands. So some people are doing it using dumbbells, etc. With kettlebells, you have that, and then there's the other side of kettlebells where there are people who really love kettlebells and they critique every single thing that you do. It's kind of like having somebody who's like a fan of a band, and you see somebody wearing like some merch from your favorite rock band or something like that. And you're like, "What's the name of the song? Name this." And it kind of like scares people away from even trying to embrace. Like if you came to them and say, "Hey, look, you like AC/DC or whatever? Hey, here's some cool songs. These are my favorite songs," and you welcome people into the community, maybe more people will like that band. But it's like people like to gatekeep and like nitpick, and the kettlebell community has that like a. That's one of the, like, you have to have you have to be a perfect RKCer, and I've talked about that as well. So every time like somebody tries to venture out and make a video, you have a billion reaction channels to, oh wait, maybe he squeeze he should squeeze his glutes here a little bit more, or maybe he should do this, or he didn't have perfect form. It's annoying. That's another reason too. Thanks, Catherine. I'm not supposed to say that, but I break the fourth wall all the time. I'm somebody who's been doing fitness for so long. It's like, I don't have to do the politics of it. I'm gonna be around for a minute, to keep it real with you all. I do have a step. I have a few step exercises, workouts and stuff like that. I really try to keep it to where equipment is minimal. It is fun. It is novel to try out different things, and I love movement. Movement is my favorite part of fitness, just being able to express my body in different ways. But at the same time, pardon me, there are skill sets that come with certain things, and there is an accessibility thing. And so if you're working hard on making these videos, and I'm telling you, it takes a lot of work. I mean, make it look easy, but it takes a lot of work. You do want it to be received well as well, so that effort isn't going into, something that's slept on. Who needs that? All right, so yeah, we're gearing up. My voice is gonna leave me again in a few seconds, so I'm gonna have to end this very soon because I need my voice to continue to film workouts for the upcoming week. I'm currently working on week 3. I'm about 3 days into week 3 right now, so I gotta preserve my voice. I just want to thank you all again for all of your enthusiasm. It truly carried me through my week 2 journey. I was sick for the entire week. You all aren't gonna know that really in the videos because I just had that mindset and that energy, just borrowing from you all, and that's nothing. Just keep borrowing from each other, the excitement and energy. All right, don't let those flames kind of fan out. You want to fan those flames. All right, so thank you all so much. Week 2 we're gonna keep on pushing it, with the great momentum, with the great energy, and with some excellent workouts. We're gonna get stronger this week, and we're gonna get closer and closer to crushing where we're gonna be on day 75. So thank you all so much. Thank you all for all your support. For people who are on HoyPRO and who are on YouTube, tell your friends, hey, join in. First 15 days are going to be on YouTube. I'm going to put out some stuff. I'm going to get better at marketing. All right. I'm going to get better at promoting. But I could use you all's help as well. So if you have people who will be interested in looking for a different transformation, we're going to bring it absolutely right here, and they can try it out for 15 days in the playlist that's in the description. So share that on your socials. Thank you all so much. I love you all. I'm going to go ahead and post. Well, I already posted week 2 on HoyPRO, but I'm going to post day 8 very soon for preview on YouTube. All right. I'm out for my voice leaves. Peace out.